If you're interested in FIFA Mobile, I currently have a second channel where we run a FIFA Mobile Road to Glory, link down below. And if you need any coins for Ultimate Team to get a head start on the game, head to the link in the description. Use the code TVM for a discount at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new video, and it is that time of the season where we hit the mid-season players. And funnily enough, the mid-season players are probably more exciting and better, at least on paper, than the ones you get for the end of the season. I really wish EA would just give us better options, you know? Give us 5 options instead of 3 and make them better. These are not too bad, actually. Tello and a couple of the others, they're not bad. The centre-back for Celta Vigo in particular looks decent. Tello, for me, was a better option because he links to Cuadrado and Ronaldo. So I thought I might as well get him in instead of the others. Although I will say that I have another mid-season player. Can't remember his name. Yong Woo, I think it is. Something like that. Have his review coming out later today. So Tello is a central midfield player. He's 5'11", although in-game you would be mistaken for thinking he is 6 foot plus because he does look very big in-game. High work rates, which for a centre mid with well-rounded stats such as Tello, or reasonably well-rounded I should say, is not a bad thing. And then he does have 3-star, 3-star. So you can get by with 3-star, 3-star. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're not going to get on with him because he doesn't have 4-star weak foot or 5-star skills or anything. I'm not that meta. But it's definitely worth mentioning that the 3-star weak foot is not ideal. And then, of course, pace. Something that a lot of centre mids in this game are lacking. Tello does not lack it in the slightest. 89 acceleration, 88 sprint speed. His finishing is poor at 66. His shot power just as bad at 71. Attack positioning at 80 is okay, I suppose. 87 short passing, which is very nice. Shame about the vision, although he can cross, and his long passing isn't bad either. Good dribbling, ball control, and reasonably good reactions for an 82 rated card, with really good agility, considering he does feel quite big in game at 91. His interceptions at 80, very important stat this year. And great physicals, really. Good strength, good stamina, nice jumping. Shame about the aggression, but it is what it is. I have an anchor on him. Is that the best chem style to use? Who knows? I mean, I'm using him next to Blanc. Whether he is a secondary CM or the main CDM, I suppose it entirely depends on how you decide to play him. I mean, he was a bit of both. He was on stay back while attacking, but I was maybe venturing forward with him a little bit here or there. And perhaps you wouldn't be doing that. Maybe you'd be staying back and strictly defending. So, you know, it's a bit of half of one and half a dozen of the other, I guess. It's just whatever you decide to do. But I'm going to give you sort of the flip side of the coin here. And I'm going to show you both of him defending and him venturing forward. So, on the ball, not bad, actually. I mean, my initial impressions of him on the ball weren't great, I won't lie to you. He did feel a lot bigger than I was expecting. He's next to Blanc, right? And Blanc is 6'4". This Tello card next to, or player rather, next to Blanc, like they're right next to each other there. It doesn't look like any difference at all. If anything, you'd argue that Tello looks bigger than Blanc, and it's because of his in-game body type, I guess, because Blanc, I don't know whether he has, I'm guessing he has a specific body type because it's an icon, but he looks a lot leaner than Tello. Tello has got an average body type, but he looks not stocky, but bigger than Blanc for sure, and that makes him look bigger and taller in game, which is obviously wrong because he's not. But just bear that in mind. On the ball, my initial impression, the first couple of touches weren't particularly great. The interception's quite nice, as you can see, but over time, I got to get to grips with him, and on the ball, he's actually not that bad at all. Doesn't get the rub of the green that often, but he does get it every now and again. His stepovers are quite nice, considering he doesn't have insane balance and or reactions, and of course his dribbling, it's okay, but it's nothing to write home about. So his stepovers are quite nice. And something else to note as well, so maybe you want to take this with a pinch of salt, but I am on PC, so I'm on the new patch. as he gets himself a goal. I'm on the new patch, which means they have quote-unquote nerfed stepovers. In my opinion, nothing has changed. They're basically exactly the same as they were before. They have meant to have changed and fixed interceptions, which again may be a little bit here or there, but for the most part, I don't think they've changed an awful lot there either. I think a lot of what EA say they're going to do or have done is more of a placebo effect. It's kind of like, we'll tell them we've changed this. Maybe we've altered it by 0.1, but really it'll be in their head. Because what's going to happen is next week you'll see everyone complain that this doesn't work, that doesn't work, and they've changed this, that, and the other, when really they probably haven't changed anything. But it is what it is. Let's go back to Tello. So, in terms of traits, of course, a player that's recently promoted and not known by anyone, obviously, doesn't have any traits because EA won't go to the sort of detail to give them any, which is another point, I guess, is they should just add in traits. They should add weak foot, skill moves, and things like that to these type of players. So they give a mid-season guy a card who is from a lower league or has been recently promoted from a team that doesn't get used that often. Give him a weak foot upgrade. Give him a trait that he doesn't normally have on his base card. Do something with him to make him a little bit more desirable. Because as good as he is for an 82 rated, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say this guy needs to be in your weekend league team and you need to get as close as you can to the mid-season card as possible, because otherwise your weekend league is going to be ruined and the experience isn't going to be there because this guy is just insane. I'm not going to lie to you and say that sort of thing. Look at this for a goal. Wow. Ronaldo on the end of it. But he is alright. He's not bad. I think he could be used, and he should be used primarily in objectives. So you've got Managerial Masterpiece, for example, and a lot of people will overlook this. Managerial Masterpiece requires a 77 rated squad. This is a perfect card for that because you can fit him in with a bunch of 75, 76, 77 rated cards, easily get chemistry to potentially Cuadrado or a few other players from the Italian league. Not ideal in terms of nation, sure, but still, if you are planning on linking him to Cuadrado, it is ideal. But he's one of those players that I think you'll either want to just use in friendlies, just casually. Maybe if you can fit him into a decent side. The better the player around him, the better he's going to perform. If you can fit him into a decent side, he wouldn't be terrible in Rivals. I wouldn't want to take him into Weekend League unless you're really good at the game or you couldn't care less about your result. I wouldn't take him in there. He's not going to let you down, really. He's just not going to add anything to your team. You probably have better cards in your squad. If you've reached halfway through the season already, you have better players in your starting 11 than this guy. It's a good card. It's not bad at all. And I'm glad I've unlocked it. I'm glad I've picked it because I will use it in friendlies every now and again, I'm sure. But he does lack a lot of what you can buy on the market for like 5, 6k, you know? It's one of those cards that, yeah, it's decent. It's a shame it's not an 84 rated because then we'd be talking about something a little bit better. And of course, it's a shame he doesn't have added traits or a better weak foot or something. That would have given it a little bit of an edge. Overall, though, it's not a bad card at all for nothing, essentially, just for playing the game. And I'm glad I've unlocked it. Let me know what you think of him in the comments. Of course, if you have reached the midway point, which card did you take? Hit the like button if you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.